Hey everyone, it is October the 9th. I hope that you'll indulge me for just a few minutes. I don't read. I don't know that if I have, it's not been very often that I've read from my books. But as I sat down to record, I felt like this is how I should start the lesson. So if you don't want to listen, then you can go get a cup of coffee or something and wait till you could fast forward it. Okay. My daddy was a modest man. By the way, I'm reading from Yes, No, and Maybe. Living with the God of Immeasurably More. My daddy was a modest man who made a modest income. He never had ambitions to be rich and famous, have a financial portfolio, or have a fancy office with CEO on the office door. No, he only wanted a few dollars in his worn-out wallet to be able to drive his truck until the wheels fell off and to work every day until he physically could work no more. He benevolently gave to anyone in need, family, hitchhikers, that was back in the day, the hungry, the poor, widows and children, church folks and unchurched folks. This daddy of mine lived the immeasurably more life right in front of me until this very moment, I never really put it together. Yes to God, no to self, and yet my parents enjoyed the freedom of maybe for a long time. In all the years I lived under his roof, I never knew my father to miss a tithe. My parents trusted God with their finances and generously gave to others. Then Hurricane Hugo slammed through the Carolinas on September 22nd, 1989. The devastation was horrific for our city. Debris lined the streets for weeks, and neighbors rallied to help one another. My daddy was a general contractor, so when the city restored power, cleared the roads, the phone started ringing. One particular job he accepted changed our lives forever. My father was up on the roof when he fell and broke his leg. It was the worst break the orthopedic surgeon had ever seen. His first recommendation was to amputate from the knee down. After prayer and lots of consultation, we opted for my dad to undergo surgery to repair his shattered ankle and badly broken leg. The surgery was followed by months of therapy and no guarantee of real success. The doctors forecasted that my dad wouldn't be able to return to work for at least a year, if ever. Our family was without words and income. But we didn't worry. God had always blessed the work of the hard-working carpenter. Daddy was faithful to God, and we knew God would be faithful to our family. We didn't know how, but we knew who. Workers' comp paid 30% of Daddy's salary, but that was hardly enough to live on. My mom's arthritis kept her out of the workforce. To help with expenses, I moved back home from college rather than living on campus. We did all we could to minimize our expenses. One evening, while my mom was writing out the bills that were paycheck to paycheck, and these were snail mail days, I noticed a check to the church. I questioned her. Mom, why are you tithing? God knows Daddy isn't working. Do you really think he expects us to tithe? Her reply, you can't outgive the Lord. It wasn't long until I learned the reality of her words. While my parents faithfully continued to tithe on a reduced income, 10 couples in our church had committed to cover the 70% loss this workers' comp did not pay for an entire year. This is the greatest testimony of generous giving I've ever witnessed. My parents gave exponentially, and it was given back exponentially. I never thought about that story and how it related to loaves and fishes. But that's what I want us to see today is what do we do when it seems like we don't have enough? This account of the loaves and fishes is told in multiple Gospels. There's a 5,000, there's a 4,000. But it's all the same. And what I've learned is that the willing get to see God work. When we're willing to put out what God asks us to put out, when we're willing to do what God wants us to do, even when it just doesn't make sense in our own mind, much less to anyone else, the willing get to see God work. You see that Jesus saw the need and the disciples saw the need. And Jesus saw a solution and the disciples saw a solution. Their solution was send everybody away. And Jesus was, let's gather what we have and let's divide everybody up into groups. I've learned that I want to be in the arena with Jesus' solution for all of my problems, not just financial. And I'm not. There are times when I'm just white knuckling onto what I think is right for me and what I think is right for my family. And when I do that, I don't get to see God. And I confess that to Him, that I'm missing God work because I feel like I know best. When we don't know if we have enough, and when it seems like we don't have enough, we need to place it all before God. Trust Him with what we have. Ask Him to bless it and watch Him multiply. He specializes in not enough finances, not enough love, not enough trust, not enough work. Whatever it might be, He specializes in not enough. Place whatever you have before Him. Trust Him and ask Him to bless it and watch Him multiply. We'll see you tomorrow on Read Through the Word.